Hi guys, and welcome to a very cold day here in Brussels. I'm freezing my ass off, but I'm driving the brand new Lexus LC 500h and I'm fucking happy. I mean I'm damn happy, sorry. No swearing on this channel. Since I don't have the same financial means as the Grand Tour, I did a pretty small tour with this car and driven from Brussels to Paris and then from Paris to the Nürburgring, where I saw Misha, and then here I'm back in Brussels today. Sadly, this is my last day with the LC 500h and it's pretty sad, yes, because I love this car. I'm just gonna start the review by saying this is a great car. Maybe even one of the greatest cars. Sorry, one of the greatest cars. Yes, one of the greatest cars I've ever reviewed or driven, or anything for that matter, or even seen. I love it. Starting with the design, this car is gorgeous. You just can't go unnoticed. I mean, the design is so futuristic and it doesn't resemble anything else on the street. Except Lexus, of course. You can see some Lexus features, but that's normal since this is a Lexus. The red color just makes this car look like a supercar. I mean, honestly, people are gonna turn their head around and watch the car and take pictures and appreciate, even though most of them don't know what this car is, which is funny since it has a huge L on the front. But still, Lexus is probably not the most well-known brand in Europe, especially when you compare it to the following of, let's say, Mercedes or BMW. So design-wise, I love the rear tail lights, which are amazing. The mirror effect, infinity effect, or whatever, is just amazing. It looks beautiful, and you can notice it, especially at night. It looks like $1 million. The front, again, very aggressive. I like the grille. Some people don't like it. I think, well, since I pretty much like Lexus, I like the fact they don't copy any design. They came up with something which is their own and no one else does it, and I love it. Their models, you can differentiate them very easily, which is a bit of a problem with other brands nowadays. Let's not say Mercedes. The finish on the outside is superb. You have the carbon fiber roof, you have the air intakes, you have the huge 21-inch wheels, which, well, look absolutely mad. Those are mad wheels. 21-inch wheels on a stock car, this is just crazy. I love it. I love it. They've gone mad on this car, and it paid out in my opinion. Now back to the interior. This is a Lexus, so high quality materials. Of course, you have Alcantara, you have aluminium, you have, honestly, little plastic, and even the plastic that is there is pretty good quality. I mean, not pretty good quality, it's good quality. The leather is supple and very nice to the touch. It feels like proper leather. You also have a few carbon fiber reminders that you have the Sport Plus pack, which comes with many goodies, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And overall, well, should I even mention like infotainment and all the security systems, or like adaptive cruise control, stuff like that? Honestly, I mean, this is a 2018 Lexus, right? It's not special anymore. I don't see why people keep mentioning them like it's a new high-tech feature. Okay, that was back in 2005, I agree, that was amazing, but now it's standard on like a Yaris. So, you know, I could mention the heads-up display, which is pretty big, which doesn't really get in your way when you watch in front and see the road. It actually helps you. You have the rev counter, the speed, and you know, all your basic information. You don't have to watch the cluster, although it's a pretty nice cluster, which reminds me a lot of the LFA. Obviously, you can see some inspiration from the I don't know if I can call it hypercar, but at least the Lexus supercar from a few years ago, which still is legendary nowadays and costs a lot of money. But enough about that. Let's talk about practicality, because that's where the hybrid kinda comes short. The biggest problem with this car is maybe trunk space. Since it's the hybrid, you have the batteries, which take quite some space, and yes, luggage space is pretty much compromised. You can fit one fairly large suitcase and then maybe a bag. Ooh, sorry for the bumpy road, but that's pretty much it for the trunk. And as far as interior space goes, well, in the front, the comfort is amazing. Honestly, I feel as good in this car as I felt in the 7 Series, which is a luxury sedan, which is supposed to be the most comfortable. But this is as comfortable, if not even more, because the seats are pretty damn good, even if you drive it sportier. So they're supportive but so comfortable. I love it. I love it. But as for the rear seats, you can fit regular sized people, but if you go above 180 centimeters in height, don't even hope to sit in the back. These are more for children or, you know, luggage or stuff like that. Maybe one regular sized human, but not more. But this is something pretty general with luxury coupes, and you know, in general, like a coupe is not supposed to be a people carrier. It's more of a grand tourer, and it does the job just great. Finally, let's talk about the specifications. This car comes with the hybrid powertrain, which, well, is composed of the battery pack plus the Lexus engine, the 3.5 V6, which actually I say Lexus, but it's also Toyota. As for the specs, this car comes with the 3.5 V6 naturally aspirated engine, plus battery assist, of course, since it's the hybrid. It has the new 10-speed, which is, well, you know, I used to criticize the CVT, and that I hope they would make something different for future hybrid generations. If they put this gearbox in any other, I mean in all the other hybrids, honestly, perfect. It's just perfect. It's super responsive when driving. Maybe from the start you cannot really launch it or anything, and it's a bit laggy at start. But after that, it's a beast, and it shifts quickly, and it goes like beep. Performance-wise, this car does 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 5 seconds, which is not so slow for a 2-ton car, man. This is a car that weighs 2 tons, just a bit over 2 tons to be honest, but let's say 2 tons. And it's only 359 horsepower and 348 newton meters of torque, you know, the maximum output, so with everything on batteries and so on. So yeah, it doesn't have that much power if you compare it to other luxury coupes, such as, I don't know, let's go as far as saying DB11, since Motor Trend did the comparison between the 500, the regular one, with the DB11. Yeah, it doesn't really have much power. Even the V8 version, which comes with 477 horsepower, if I'm not mistaken, and lots more torque, is still pretty slow in comparison to the others. But where this car really shines, I mean the hybrid, and then I'm going to tell you about the whole LC model. Where this car really shines is the fuel consumption. I've averaged on my trips, you know, from Brussels to Paris and back to Köln, and also yeah, driving like a madman. So that in mind, I've averaged 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers. Actually, from Brussels to Paris, since I couldn't drive it faster, I've averaged about 8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is tremendous. It's a big engine, and it might be a hybrid, but doesn't really matter on the highway, right? Absolutely amazing. At around 130 kilometers per hour, this car's RPM were under 2000, and this is a petrol car. Under 2000, something like 1700 to 1800. Sorry for the bumpy road again. Blame it on Brussels. So now let's talk a bit about the Sport Plus pack, which comes with all the goodies such as rear steering and adaptive suspension, and honestly the chassis on this car, oh my god, it handles like a cart. And this car is heavy, it's really heavy, but it handles, it's incredible. So if you consider the weight of this car, the handling is superb. Obviously it's not like a McLaren or a Ferrari or anything like that, but then again, I would say this handles far better than a Bentley. I'm talking about the regular Bentley, right, which costs way more than this, and so does the Aston. And well, you know, you have to take that into account. I'm gonna stop for a minute since there's been something like an accident and I cannot really continue, and I'm stuck, and don't want to be stuck in traffic. It's just pointless, so I took a small road. And I want to finish this review by saying this is a great car. I know it costs a lot. It starts here in Belgium at just a little over 100,000 euros, and with all this, you know, everything you could get, all the options and everything, the carbon pack, and, you know, everything, the Sport Plus, blah blah blah, it's 120,000 euros, which is a big amount of money. I know, and I've got some criticism from people who have seen the car and said like, I would never pay that much for Lexus. Well, I do not agree there, because what you're getting for this money is honestly worth twice the price. I think this car has got a bit of an advantage. I like the finish, and I couldn't find something that really bothered or annoyed me, especially in the interior. This is a GT, right? Exterior and looks, let's not even talk about that. I love it. Maybe you don't, and it's your right. This is a personal preferences. But let's be objective, and when you check the materials and everything, the way everything is laid out, and, you know, practicality, usability, and so on, I think this car is up there. Maybe one thing they could have added, and some people told me like, this doesn't give you your seat belt and you have to, you know, turn around and get it. Well, if you're lazy, of course this is gonna annoy you, and if you're used to like Mercedes and BMW, yes, they do that, that's cool, fine. I don't really mind it, so yeah. So in conclusion, driving this car has definitely made me fall in love with the brand. Yes, I'm a sucker for Lexus now, because so far I have never been disappointed, even once. Alright guys, this has been a pleasure for me to review this car, and I hope you enjoyed this review. But it's over now. Sadly, it's over. So, you know, if you don't want to see me sad, and if you want to comfort me, just click on that subscribe button, the like button, the share button. You have so many buttons you could click, and it's free and it's cool. You should do it. Bye bye.